What's up, Dustin? Yeah, I've been organizing like my shelves, and I'll probably do like a walkthrough on them because I have like today I put up my GI Joe shelf, two shelves, and my indie figure shelf. Like it's like three shelves on one unit, and then there's the top that has all the Jubilee stuff on it. Um, the I got the Nightwing shelves pretty much organized. I have the Chainsaw Man stuff organized, but I don't have that much Chainsaw Man stuff. The Texas Chainsaw Man or Texas Chainsaw Man, Texas Chainsaw shelves organized. Uh, and I, yeah, the indie one used to be the top row of the GI Joe shelves, but I ended up um, making it the very bottom row, so it's like hard to see which kind of sucks. But I mean, like something's got to go on the bottom row, right? Yeah, I don't have a wrestling shelf right now, so um, I need to ultimately work on that as well, because that all came down when I was like moving things around, but I never like put it back up, and now I am all out of shelf space. So I'm either going to have to buy more shelves or maybe rotate stuff or find another option. Toy shows should be fun. So that piece I was working on Monday during that impromptu stream, I ended up not being very happy with like what I felt was. Let me look at it. Did I move it? I think I moved. Oh no, I did move it. I think I put it away. I wasn't real happy with how Power was positioned. Like I didn't feel like she had enough movement in the piece. So I worked on like redrawing it and repositioning her. So I posted it on Insta, but I'm hoping that shows a little better, like repositioning her to where she's behind Denji and like reaching through him, but like yanking his hair. And then you've got Aki over here who's just like, yo, man, that's cool. You know, he's just annoyed with them because they're they're annoying kids, right? Although I'm not quite sure how old Aki is supposed to be. I'm guessing he's probably in his early 20s. I actually have a bunch of extra Cybercell cards for Chainsaw Man that I'm going to take with me to the toy show, and I'm considering doing um, the card show at Collector's Territory. That they're having in 2 weeks, because I've got a ton of like sports cards from the 80s and 90s. And I was telling one of the owners, and he was just like, dude, you should just do it and like have all the cards like in one box and be like, in bulk, you can buy these for like $100 because the tables are 50, and then somebody buys all of them. I get rid of all those bulk cards, and then I've doubled my table right then and there, which is actually kind of smart, and I might do it. What the hell is this? Oh, it's Godzilla Kong. Okay, nice. There's a couple comics that came out in the last few weeks that are just blowing up ridiculously. Um, like it's a book called Dork, and then there was like one the very next week from Image, and I have no like the Dork one is like the artwork is cool. It doesn't seem like something I'd really like to read maybe past the first issue, but it's like orcs and fantasy and like Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings type stuff. Um, and but yeah, like within like 1 week, like the day it came out, it was already on being ordered for a second print. Uh, and and it hit like it was hitting like 80 to $100 on like the secondary market, which is ridiculous for a book that just came out. Like the last book I remember that had that much momentum right when it came out was Batman Damned #1, and that's because like they did the like you could see Batman's junk. First appearance of the Batawang. I actually had that book. It was, I mean, it way cooled off, um, but it was still kind of funny because like that book jumped to like 40 or 50 the day it came out, and it was I forget if they recalled it, but there were like freaking all kinds of people like protesting. Um, Not the least of which was like some anti-circumcision like brigade because Bruce was depicted as being circumcised, and I'm just like, what the like, why, why are you mad about that? Like, um, but when they did reprints of it, like it was they like blacked over it. Trying to figure out where this tie goes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I can, and it was a Black Label book too, right? So it's not like it was, oh, this book is marketed to like kids or whatever, right? Um, but yeah, I really hope the show goes well. I could definitely use some more money. I got to work on how to start marketing myself better so I can, get people to go to my online stores and stuff like that. I'm also feeling better about um, being back in therapy. Like, I like my new therapist. I think she's going to be helpful. Hold on a second. I'm going to go check on my chicken. Chicken done? Chicken is done. Grayson, how's the chicken? Taste it? It's pretty good. This tray is hot. Be right there. Ugh. All right. I'm just going to eat a little bit of dinner right now. I love chicken. It's probably my primary source of protein. Mm. Oh God, no! It's not plain. It is. It's got honey, sea salt, garlic powder, and then pepper. What do you call it? Chili powder. I don't recall the last time I might have eaten plain chicken, like maybe boiled or or what have you. But um, even my even my wings, I'll bake. I don't fry them. And I forget exactly where it was. Oh yeah, are they doing like um a signing at like Toy Temple or something like that? Or are they doing like maybe a meet and greet before? Okay. See if you can catch people there. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the background here. I was almost thinking like doing like a building perspective, like going up, like a 1 point or maybe like multiple buildings like hurtling. But she's not really at that angle anyways. Did you like go back and finish them off? All right, back. I'm gonna go put my dish in the sink. I suck at video games. I don't play a lot of like a lot of stuff like because I remember how like Madden Psycho. Yeah, I think the only games I've ever beat were Punisher Arcade on my 1-Up cabinet. DC versus Mortal Kombat, the DC side. Gyromite, one of the early NES games that the robot was made for, but I used to play without I didn't have the robot, which from what I've seen made it really hard to play. So you'd have both controllers and the second controller would work like the robot was supposed to. And then I beat the Genesis Mortal Kombat a few times, but that was always on like the easiest level. As soon as I put it on like medium, the game would like figure out my patterns and just skunk me every single time. So Phoenix said they're making a big announcement tomorrow. I mean, last time their really big announcement was from last year was Hayden Christensen. which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. I'm really glad I'm feeling a lot better, but the tail end of a cold sucks because you have that really annoying lagging cough. When I went to pick up my groceries today, I forgot to put my mask on. So the guy came to my door to like confirm my name and everything. I felt like such an ass, even though I was just like, oh, I got my mask in the car. I mean, you would think, right? And hopefully, one of the conventions gets like all of them together because what Christina Lease told me was there are certain like exclusivity rules with conventions where like you can't be a guest at like in the same state at multiple shows within a certain time frame or something like that. It's fucking dumb. Because I told her I had just met Brad and Fiona and that I was going to meet Alex, and she was just like, "Yeah, um, he's doing that show because otherwise I would be there with him or he would be here." doing this one, but we're not allowed to do like same state events. And I was just like, wait, what? I was like, is that like a union like rule? And I don't remember what she said, but she was just like, no, I think she said it had something to do with like how the convention writes their contracts out with the guests. Wait, how long ago did you have? You said you had your heart attack. It was a couple years ago, right? Oh, to make the drive in 2024. Gotcha. I was just like, well, yeah, I wouldn't want you driving within 24 hours of having a heart attack either. Is that when all the Scream actors were there in that year? Well, a lot of times, they'll make the announcements, like the really, really big ones, closer to the show. So hopefully that's the case. Oh, the guy, the one who did the voice? I don't know if you watch Laura Legends on YouTube, but she was just at Fan Expo Vancouver, and she did like a live, not a live, like a video recap, and she she ended up like being a guest because of like eBay Live. Like they had her come out and do promos and stuff like that. But she got to meet like Elijah Wood. Like she didn't get to record it or anything, but and it was funny at the end. She's like racing to get to her ferry because like she lives in Canada, and so she had to get like I think Vancouver. I don't like she lives on an island in Canada, and Lee Waddell, is he the it's kind of nice that I'm not going to be tabling at Tucson Con because the same weekend is Anime Sabaton, and a couple of years ago in 2024 they had the same weekend. They do it Labor Day weekend as well. They've been doing it Labor Day weekend a lot longer than Tucson Con. Um, the They had the voice actor who played Tetsuo from the English dub of Akira. And I was all bummed. I was just like, well, maybe I can bribe somebody who's going to be there. And I was able to get a hold of somebody who was going for fun. And she was just like, oh, I'm already getting in that guy's line. And I'm like, okay, cool. Can you get like he'll have signed 8x10s. And when I found out what the price was, like I threw her a couple of extra bones. Thing I saw it on the Phoenix Fan Fusion website was they're doing proxy autos now. So if you're not able to go, you can have them get like an 8x10 sign for you, which is kind of cool. I mean, part of the experience is, meeting the individuals, but like, oh, Roger Jackson is the one who does the voice. Lee Waddell is the physical performer. Roger voiced. Okay. Is Lee Waddell more of like a stuntman? The downside to using the red pen or red pencil is sometimes it's hard to tell like where my line breaks are. Not that it doesn't get difficult sometimes with, regular graphite pencil, but if you could get any horror actors, okay, yeah, because a lot of times if your face isn't on screen and you're playing like the main character, you're going to be the stunt performer or like a body double or something like that. Um, any horror actor autograph and photo op, who would it be? Like price isn't an issue kind of thing. No, because my answer, the person isn't alive. No, they don't have to be currently alive. Oh, nice, nice, good choice. I wasn't even thinking directors, but that's a good choice. Um, I would go with Gunnar Hansen. Bill Johnson, who played Leatherface in the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he had this really cool uh, photo of him, Gunnar Hansen, and R.K. Mihailoff, who played Leatherface in Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And um, like, if I hadn't already like spent uh, like God, like $350 on autographs. I probably would have bought it, uh, especially because there was like only so many of them made, like they were numbered and everything, which I thought was dope as hell. Um, and I mean, not only probably wouldn't be the only way for me to get a Gunnar Hansen autograph, but like that's a pretty cool way to get a Gunnar Hansen autograph, right? Now, if we're talking directors, especially if we're talking currently alive, I'm going with Don Mancini, which in a way would kind of suck because I would love to have him sign the Child's Play 2 book. Um, but I'll settle for having him sign the doll. And if I get a chance to meet Fiona Dorff again, I'll probably get like an 8x10 or something like that. But definitely get like some selfies with her. At Mad Monster, man, they were going full bore with selfies. Like it was pretty crazy. Like I've seen like times in the past where like if you get a selfie with a celeb, like the person at their table literally takes like one photo. They might take a second one, but with Christina Lease, I think the person took probably like 10 pics, and with like there were people posting all their photos, like all their selfies and stuff. And man, like some of the like pictures with Fiona, like they were like it wasn't just like, oh, I'm posting my selfies from today. Like they were posting each picture that they took. And some people had like 10 or 12 photos. It was pretty crazy, like per person. See, this is the part that gets dangerous right here because this is almost all just red. So I have to choose. Um, I have to choose carefully where these lines go. Like, and I think I'm gonna like both digitally and watercolor these just to see how it comes out, right? Yeah, dude, she was doing like all kinds of poses with people and stuff. Like, she seemed to really dig, uh, being there. Sometimes you see like celebrities or guests or whoever, and they don't seem like they're really super happy to to be at a show, like not like miserable or anything, but like, when the guests or the people, are like straight up talking to people and asking questions back and forth. Like it's not just um it's not just like transactional, right? Like where it's, oh, okay, here's your autograph, here's your photo, bye. And that's where like the my belief that like horror people are some of the best people, because I believe they really, really appreciate their fans. Um, Not that other like actors and stuff don't, but I think when you're in like a genre that's like not already taken seriously by a lot of mainstream media, and like when's the last time, I mean, I realize like last year Substance won for like best picture or whatever, but it's still, it's not, it's like, I've told people I don't believe comic books are respected in like Hollywood, and like the response I've gotten from people is like, I don't know what you're talking about, because like look at all the movies that have been made from these characters. And I'm like, yeah, they make money for the studios and they make money for the actors, but like I don't think by and large that like Hollywood and studios and producers and stuff really respect the art, you know? I don't know why he's holding the box like this. Like, yeah, that's cool. And I think it's when I was waiting for Brad that um, they, um, she was like walking past them. I don't know if she had done like a photo op or something like that. And she was coming back and she stopped to like to talk to Brad and Fiona, and they stopped and they took a picture together. And so I don't know if like, I'm sure she's a fan, right? But I don't know if Brad watches wrestling or if Fiona watches wrestling. Like, I wish I had thought to ask, but I mean, for the little bit of fans that I get, I try to be on point for them. I try to show like my enthusiasm and my gratitude that they're there and that they chose to show up, or they came back. That's always awesome. Yeah, and I've heard, I don't know that I've like, I used to be a big sports guy, and sometimes you'd get those athletes that were probably making like a gang load of money even back then. You got to go outside, buddy. Hold on a second. He's so weird. If he doesn't like, he's already back in the house. If he doesn't like insanely have to go to the bathroom or whatever, like when I let him outside, he'll like look back at me as if to be like, I'm supposed to do this, right? Um, but yeah, I used to go to like spring training and everything, and like you would get the ball players who just you would see they kind of didn't want to be there, or at least they didn't necessarily want to be interacting with fans. And it's always like kind of disheartening because these were like people I liked and respected and looked up to, and so it's one of those things that's like not like a don't meet your heroes, but like I guess like remember they're human, right? So um, people have bad days and stuff. So it's fair to remember that people aren't perfect, but at the same time, like I definitely am a firm believer. Like if you're there, you should really put forth that effort. Um, I remember one of the early times after I'd met my friend Latik. He was at Tucson Con and he was talking to somebody, and I was standing at his table just listening to what he was saying, and he mentioned that like in the 90s, I think he was referring to like the image guys, right? And he was talking about how one time he went to get to meet like one of his artistic heroes, and the the guy was just kind of a dick, and it really put him off that individual. Like even though he liked their artwork, he was just like, yeah, I don't really care for him as a person anymore. Um, and he said something else that was really profound. He was just like, there's like every time somebody meets you, there's somebody who's going to be meeting, an artist or a creator that they like for the very first time. And so that might be that person's entry point and exit to like these spaces. So if we as creators, and like for myself as a smaller creator, I still have people show up, to see my work and stuff like that. Like maybe not solely to see my work, but they, you know, part of the reason that they came is, to see work that I did. I try to be as, grateful for that as possible, just because it's like, it's awesome to see that. Plus, like, I've been that that kid that's been, wholly disappointed by, a ball player or whoever who is too busy to like say hi or, be polite or whatever, you know. And I've had a couple of like really cool experiences or like meetings with young fans, right? Because of the Bubba Patrol. Um, like kids who decided they wanted to start making comics because they read the Bubba Patrol or showed up with fan art of my characters. And I'm just like, dude, that is the coolest thing ever. And I remember at Tucson Comic Con in 2022, first show post pandemic. Um, I had two experiences like that. Right, same show. Two little girls showed up. One had made a comic book because she had read the Bubba Patrol, and she called it, and she like used kind of like a matching uh, like font. Like she drew out the font herself on the title and called it the Pet Patrol. And like her art and her characters and everything were like really on point. Um, and it was just super like awesome to see a kid be that excited about like comics and art and stuff like that. And then like the next day, a family came up, and it was actually both families, but like another family came up of a guy I kind of know, and he had purchased issue 3, 1, 2, and 3 for his daughter, and they drove down from like Glendale or where, I forget where they drove down from, but um, the daughter had drawn a picture of Cypress on like this 11 by 14 um, piece of construction paper with like pencils and crayons and stuff like that. And she, mom and dad were saying like on the car ride, like she was pretty little, like 5 or 6. And they were saying like, so she's in her car seat, and so like they had the picture in the car, and she kept asking them, where's the picture? I can't see it. And they had to keep reassuring her, like, don't worry, it's sitting right next to you. You're just at an angle where you can't see it. And she mom or dad pulls the comics, like issues 2 and 3, or 1, 2, and 3 out of the bag to have me sign them. And these books they were red. You could tell they were red. Like the spines were all beat up. You could tell she had like rolled them. Um, they said like, so she had like a wood frame bed, and there's like a little gap with the mattress, and she would like roll them and put them in the gap in the mattress. And I was just looking at these and smiling. And I'm like, you know what I love about these? And she's just like, gets all excited. And I'm like, you read these. Like, you read these books. That means a whole lot. And I remember getting really nervous because like we went to take a picture, and like the sketch, her drawing fell out of my hand, and like it landed flat. And this guy was standing like just off to the side, and he took a step back, and he stepped on the construction paper, and I grabbed his leg to hold it in place, and he like looks down at me, and I'm like, I need you to pick your foot up. And he's like, what? And I'm like, just pick your foot up. And I had my hand on the construction paper and just slid it out when he picked his foot up. And then a few minutes later, Kaylee was just like, maybe you should go put those in the car. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I like this. I think this one has a lot better movement than the other one. Like, I'm good with this. I think we're gonna go with this. I gotta draw Aki's legs down here. It's the red one. So he would be, it's like a day off, so I'm gonna give him shorts. Cool. What time is it? 7:30? It's only been an hour. So this one, she's gonna have normal horns, and then the other one, she's like overpowered. So this other one, she's like overpowered. That's why she's got the side horns. I don't know why, but for a while I always thought she had a tail. I wouldn't put it past Power to have a tail. I don't know if maybe that's coming later in the story. In the original sketch, I forget if I said she was fighting Denji because he had the last drumstick, chicken wing drum, versus the flats. Cool. I'm pretty happy with this one. So now I need to come up with maybe I will do an Aki by himself as well, because I want to do a Chainsaw Man, and then I'll probably do Aki doing the Kon, where he calls the wolf demon, or the wolf devil. I'm glad I figured out like the power pose, like because I was having trouble with that, but I'm definitely like all day long between phone calls, just sketching out um, like different Chainsaw Man heads and different like poses and but I also got to see photo of the proofs for my fuck ice prints, and they look pretty sweet. So those will be at the toy show. That'll be the first place that they're on sale. All right. I think that's it for tonight. That's not bad though. Ink in two pieces. Wonder how this is going to end up looking watercolored because of the red lines, because they don't erase as well as the graphite, depending on how hard you push into the paper and the lead you use and stuff like that. Forgot to schedule my taxes today. I'll do that tomorrow or try to get it done tomorrow. All right, so I think all right, let's do one more thing. Gotta settle up the bill. And perfect opportunity for me to sign the piece. Do, 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 do. All right. It's going to do it, sports fans. I'll probably figure something out here, or just put a window in the background or something like that. Not too terribly concerned about it. But cool. Thank you for joining me, Dustin. Appreciate it. I will see you guys next week for sure. Maybe sooner than that. Later.